Proud to introduce Jamie Wall, a great candidate from the 8th Congressional District.
Well, thank you, Democrats.
Thank you.
I was born in a dairy farm, but it wasn't yesterday. Anybody with their eyes open in this country can see that we desperately need a change in Washington right now. We have a president whose cynical and short-sighted policies have mortgaged our future, and a rubber-stamped Congress that stood by every step of the way without asking questions. We've seen our budget deficits explode in the past 5 years. You hear some talk about the death tax from quarters here and there. I've started to talk about the birth tax. That's the $30,000 in federal debt that every American baby enters this world with. We've seen no action out of Washington to deal with the crisis in our healthcare system, while millions go without care and costs soar. And that's so sad, I don't even have a good joke about it. And we've seen scandal after scandal demonstrate that right now we have the best government in Washington that money can buy. All you need to know about the way Washington works today is that Tom DeLay flew back to Houston for his indictment in a jet owned by a tobacco company. You couldn't make that one up. We need some change, and it's going to happen this year. But there's one issue I want to talk about today more than any other. I believe, like many in this room, that the war in Iraq was a mistake to begin with.
Yes.
It was planned in a fact-free environment and executed in a competence-free one. This has nothing to do with our troops, who performed admirably under the most difficult of circumstances, but it has everything to do with the choices of President Bush and his senior advisors in the White House and the Pentagon. Bush lied to us about the case for war in Iraq.
Yes.
He and his advisors ignored the advice of their own generals as to the number of troops it would take to stabilize the country. They failed to prepare for the aftermath of the invasion, and they failed to provide our troops with the body armor that they need to keep safe. And now we're reaping the whirlwind for their recklessness and for their incompetence.
Yes.
The situation in Iraq isn't any better than it was 2 years ago. This didn't get much press coverage, but a few weeks ago, one of the first acts of the new Iraqi parliament was to vote each and every one of its members 2 armored cars. It's kind of funny, but it's kind of sad. We've never had a plan in Iraq, and we've wasted billions of dollars and thousands of lives. That's why I called for Don Rumsfeld to resign more than 6 months ago. Glad to see that 7 retired generals have come to the same conclusion in recent months. It's time for Rumsfeld to go, but I've come to believe that it's also time for us to go. Our troops have performed valiantly. They've done everything that we could ask of them and more. But we've done everything that we can do in Iraq militarily. The country's in a civil war, and we're in the middle. Our military is bleeding, and all we hear from this president is trust me. There is no plan in Iraq. There never has been a plan in Iraq. It's time for us to redeploy. It's time to let the Iraqis settle this. It's time for us to bring our troops home. Let me say just one more thing. Democrats care about our national security. We care. I am sick and tired of having my patriotism questioned by people who believe, because I believe that George Bush has made this country less safe rather than more so. No matter what they say, silence is not patriotism. It's easy to be cynical when you look at the country today and you see what George Bush and his cronies have done to it. But cynicism all too easily leads to apathy and to despair. One of the things I learned growing up on the farm was that you work hard. This is our year. We need to work hard. I've been working hard. You all have been working hard for a long time. And if we keep this up in the next months, we're going to see a better direction for this country. We need the change that we can bring in this election so badly. And we've got a chance to bring it in Northeast Wisconsin. That's why I'm running. That's why I ask for your support. Thank you very much.